Call to order the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees regular meeting for Tuesday, December 9, 2025, 6:30 PM. Roll call.
Trustee Buckley.
Here.
Trustee Clinton.
Here.
Supervisor Kermy.
Here.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Here.
Trustee Groth.
Here.
Trustee Stewart.
Here.
Clerk Vorba here. We have a quorum.
Good. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda. We're going to move some things around and add some things.
So, Mr. Supervisor, I move for the approval of the agenda with a couple of changed items. Number 7 on the agenda is going to be moved to after number 13, and that housekeeping is just to put it in a proper order after the budget is done. And then we are after, at the very end, we are going to have an appeal to a Freedom of Information denial by attorney Mr. Matthew Wilk. And so with those changes, we will need probably a unanimous yes vote in order to make those changes?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
Not necessarily.
You make the motion?
I made the motion.
All right, I second.
Okay, the motion's made by me, second by Groth. Trustee Buckley,
Yes.
Trustee Clinton,
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz,
Yes.
Trustee Groth,
Yes.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
Clerk Vorba, yes. The motion carries and it has been amended.
So now we're moving into, what we're going to do is we're going to move into closed session. And then when we return, we're going to vote on the closed session items. And then we will have public comment on non-agenda items. So you'll be able to kind of kibitz with each other while we're in closed session.
Mr. Supervisor, at 6:32 PM, I move that a closed session be called for the purpose of consultation with attorneys for the following purpose: trial or settlement strategy in connection with pending litigation pursuant to Michigan compiled laws 15.2681E, specifically Murray v. Plymouth Township. Second, strategy and negotiations of collective bargaining agreement pursuant to Michigan compiled laws 15.2681C, specifically the 2026 to 2028 collective bargaining agreement with the Technical Professional Office Workers Association of Michigan, known as TPOM.
Second.
Okay, motion is, okay, Clerk Vorba, yes. Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Groth?
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
We are in closed session.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that at 7:16 PM that we return to open session.
Second.
Second by Dorchevitz. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart. Motion carries. Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the recommendation of council concerning the pending litigation of Murray v. Plymouth Township.
Second.
Okay, second by Groth. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Motion carries. Thank you, Counselor.
Next item is
Consent agenda.
approval of the consent agenda, which is the minutes and then mostly some engineering easements.
Mr. Supervisor, I move for the approval of the consent agenda for Tuesday, December 9, 2025.
Have a second.
Second by Buckley?
No. Clinton.
Or
Clinton.
Clinton, got it. Clinton. Okay. Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Groth?
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley? Motion
Yes.
carries.
So, now we have comments from the public. 3 minutes, non-agenda items. So if we're going to be talking about it later, hold it until we get to the agenda item. It'll be more effective.
I'm Dwayne Zantop. Somebody in the clerk's office deleted all the names of people that have submitted FOIA requests on the board packet. Somebody in the clerk's office decided to delete all the information requested from the board packets. Somehow, now, non-public information from the clerk's office ends up in the hands of Bob McCurdy and Kurt Heisey. Somehow, non-public information for our clerk's office ends up in the former supervisor's hands, who uses it to make derogatory remarks about members of the community and elected officials on his hate-filled Facebook page. Somehow, it appears someone in the clerk's office tells a clandestine person to FOIA this or that in an attempt to discredit elected officials and members of the community. Somebody in the clerk's office and board members need to know this behavior and leaks are unacceptable and need to stop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Supervisor, I think this requires an answer. None of those things are true. Once someone files an appeal to a FOIA, that's public information. You see it's on the agenda here. There's no leak. There's no disregard for any fiduciary responsibility by the clerk's department. Any information that was gleaned by someone who requested a FOIA about a previous employee, that door was opened by the supervisor in the Dooley case, where he used that disclosure or statements by Ms. Dooley as a sword against me. So once that door was opened, people are going to start FOIAing these retirement reports that come out. So the best thing is for people, you don't have to do them. So if they do them, the door has been opened for those things to be disclosed. They were properly FOIA'd. They were properly given out. So that's just the way it is. And so there's nothing nefarious, nothing wrong done by the clerk's department.
And could I speak?
Yes.
I would like to say that it's not the clerk's office that is not providing the information that you referred to, Mr. Zantop. It's the police department's FOIA monthly report that does not have, it just says full release, partial release, but it's nothing to indicate what the actual FOIA was. I assumed, Mr. Bennett, that you were contacted about that?
Which FOIA request are we talking?
Well, it's not a specific one. We
talking about
used
the
to always get
The
the
report.
name of the person who requested the information.
And we don't anymore.
And now what we get is a report that says partial release, waiting for payment, no records exist, full release. There's no identifying information whatsoever.
It's redacted.
Yeah, it's
Redacted.
redacted. But my question,
Dedacted.
but my,
D-E-C-A-T-E-D.
okay, but my question is, under whose authority was that done, and is that something that you concur with?
The agenda items and the consent agenda are set by the appropriate members of the board. The supervisor sets the agenda. As far as what's included or what's not included is a discretionary decision, not a legal decision.
Okay, so in other words, that needs to be a board decision?
Yes.
Okay.
So the board can decide whether they want them
Redacted, dedacted.
to not be redacted even.
Right, we can say we want to see it on the report.
But if you look at page 116 of the board packet, which is the clerk's report, there are many that have a blank under, in the blue, what's it say, company name, and then other.
So maybe we need to consider putting a stop to that practice all the way around, and then there's no question.
But we had it for many years where it showed the name of the requester and the subject.
Right.
And that was taken off sometime in the spring at the request of employees.
Well, I don't think-
Recommendation of the employees. I objected.
I agree.
But they brought information and said well, in fact, they did it first without any review. It was just done. But then we talked about it.
But I think our attorney has just specified that that is a discretionary thing for the board to decide, not employees. Is that correct?
Yes, it's not a legal issue.
Thank you.
All right, so that's something we can take up.
Yes, and I think we
review.
should.
And we'll have the employees who recommended it here to tell us why they recommended that and implemented that. All right, next person.
Good evening, trustees. My name is Matthew Wilk. Apologize for the tire. I was given relatively late notice of this item being on the agenda. It appears it's going to be at the end of the agenda. I had brought along my written comments, the case that was cited by counsel, the case that I was cited, and
We're
of course,
taking this up. It's on the agenda.
the FOIA handbook. Just so you know, Jerry, you can't limit down the content of people's comments. I'd suggest reading the OMA handbook where it talks specifically about
I
that.
thought we weren't taking
We're not
public
talking about an
comments
agenda item.
regarding an agenda.
We're not talking about an agenda item.
Sounds like you are.
Well, I'll get to that. Thank you very much, Trustee
Wait,
Buckley.
wait. You are an attorney in good standing and a former member of the Northville School Board.
Correct. So,
Okay, I want to put that on record.
thank you.
Let's let him talk, but
Well,
you got to
what we're
agree
not
not
gonna
to
talk-
talk about the agenda.
Sure,
item
we're
at
not
the
going to talk about the agenda item. What we're going to talk about is what happened after the FOIA appeal was sent in. For everyone's edification, the appeal was sent in sometime in the morning on a Friday, and by the time I got home, which is probably before many of you picked up the email, that information, including the fact that it had been appealed, which was in the knowledge of exactly 8 people, that is the 7 people sitting on the dais and me, was leaked to a couple of supporters of the previous supervisor, who then took it to Facebook to make a series of derogatory comments about not only me, but other elected officials. And for your knowledge, I will read some of them just so we have a flavor of exactly what went on after this happened. Go back to Northville, ASSHAT. You're just an instigator. And by lawsuit, do you mean the one that was created to win an election and scare all the boomers? Yeah, the one the COCKX was in on also. Oh yeah, right, you all have selected memories. So that's the level of discourse. Jerry, that's not funny. That's the level of discourse that this sort of activity is engendering. And I don't think it's intentional on at least 6 members of this board. Okay, I don't think that's the type of level of discourse you want from a member of the public who makes a very simple request that you can accept or deny. And there are reasons to do so both ways that I'm sure council will talk to you about in closed session when you discuss it later. What you should take action on, unfortunately, is the actions of somebody. Again, there are only 8 possible people that knew of this, and one of those people took it to their friends to leak on social media for the purposes of a smear. That activity is beneath the standing of this body. I'm not going to be sticking around to hear your closed session. You guys can have the conversation about this item at your leisure. Council is very esteemed and can give you advice one way or the other, and I look forward to your response. Thank you.
It's not going to be in closed session, it's going to be an open session.
Well, then I don't know how you're going to talk about opinion of council in open session, but I guess that's your right.
All right, anybody else?
Hello, my name's Mike Tavarosi. I live in the township over by Sheldon and Governor Bradford. It's Plymouth Colony subdivision. I think Supervisor Kermy, you've been to our neighborhood and you've seen the damage that Wayne County's done, and I'm really here today just to kind of try to get some help. It's been a 2-year ordeal that we've been putting up with, and any kind of help that call or anything to the county would be appreciated. I think you did come by and look at the damage that they did.
Several times. You're talking about the ditching.
The ditching, yes. It's a hazard. It's way too deep. I think also being a school bus route, I think there's some real, some real danger there that could happen. I don't want to see that happen. But especially now in the wintertime, it's really bad. So again, it's been a 2-year ordeal. I've been dealing with the county. I've called our county commissioner. I've got a liaison from her into the county road commission. None of it's gotten to any kind of resolution. So I'm really at my end here, and I just hope that anything at all, just a call or anything would be appreciated.
What happened?
Well, the ditches were filled in for decades, and they
30
dug
years,
new
yeah.
ditches. And they're deep, and they're right up to the road. They're legal to do that. That is the right of way, but especially on the corners, if you're not paying attention, you will end up in the ditch. So you'll either email me or something so I can talk to you again.
Okay,
Because I know I've walked through there a couple of times, driven through there.
okay.
And
Appreciate it.
it is kind of sporting. It's like a cliff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
How long is this ditch?
The length of the road.
Well, right now, it's in front of 7 of our houses in our neighborhood of about 40.
Wow.
And we don't even know whether or not they're gonna come back and finish the rest of the neighborhood, and I hope they don't.
Is this for drainage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
okay.
ditches are for.
Yeah, that's right.
So they plan to ditch the entire neighborhood, but
They ditched the plan.
the neighborhood objected, so they held off. And I know, I was planning to, you've already spoken to the county commissioner. We have Terry Marecki and Melissa Daub. What is the borderline? Is it Beck Road for our county commissioner? Or is it, maybe?
I thought it was,
No, but we have 2 of them, so,
Isn't Sheldon in the dividing line?
yeah, we'll be working with both of them. But it's a uphill battle.
I can send you all the correspondence.
Yeah, but we'll talk, and you live on Governor Bradford? Yeah, all right.
Hello, my name's Tom Layton. I'm here representing Heinz Court cul-de-sac. Under recommendations by Chuck and Patrick, I spoke with my neighbors regarding a sewer gas problem, and I have them all on a petition to get us taken off the high-volume, high-flow system and put back on a low-volume system. It's caused quite a bit of issues with our homes, and the smell is ungodly. The contract, my first contact with the township regarding the sewer gas issue came on 8/25/24. I sent an email to the Director of Public Service, Patrick Felrath. I let him know that the sewer gas issue that was present in and outside my house was severe, and that this was brought to my attention by a technician from Miss Dig when he opened up my clean out in my house and as needed for marking sewer lines on the cul-de-sac, and he stated he had never experienced anything like it before. I'm not good at talking, I guess. I've stated that I've spent approximately $12,000 on my own plumbing to try to resolve the issue of the sewer gas coming in through my house and out my stack and into my yard. My contractor, who did some of the work in my basement where I had to get my basement line relined, was done, and the stench did not go away. Therefore, I brought them to task. They sent out more technicians, and what they found, and they did it on their own, they went to DPW and they got a crew, they came back, they checked the sewer, the manhole, right outside in the cul-de-sac, and found that it was a high-flow system, 18-inch line going down to a 12-inch line on a 40-degree turn, which creates turbulence, which creates a massive amount of excess sewer gas that ends up getting vented through our 6 homes. I have the petition here, signed and dated by the people on the cul-de-sac. I've made, I think, 7 copies for everybody. I also have been in contact with the city, and I found out that the city sewer system, that 18-inch line, picks up most of the downtown area, both commercial and residential. Comes through our neighborhood, through our backyards, and then into the street, causing the issue. The issue is not only coming through our house, it's actually on the street as well. Anybody here can come and visit, and I'll take you out and you can smell it, okay? The issue is that they decided to do this a long time ago, back in 1995, and both Patrick and Chuck wanted to know what has changed. I can't tell you what has changed. What I did find out from the city is they no longer meter the flow rate of what comes through that sewer line. They do it based on the meters on the residential and commercial property. So their theory is what goes in, goes out. Regardless of what that is,
Okay,
that just
so
basically, I did FOIA request,
we're gonna,
and I have a
one
map.
more sentence, we gotta time you out, unfortunately, in that.
Okay,
But
well,
I'm
here's the
very familiar
petition.
with it. I've been in your basement.
Yes, you have.
I've looked in the manhole back in November last year.
Yes,
So I know this issue. It is not an easy fix. It was done, an engineering feat that was done in 1995. I approved it. I was on the township board. And it's to take the city of Plymouth sewer into Hines Park and into the Wayne County interceptors. And it worked great for over 30 years.
it's a
And so
safety
now
and
we gotta
health
figure
issue.
out,
It is presently a safety and health issue, and by doing nothing, you're not going to resolve the issue.
we've got the city of Plymouth that's part of it, and, so,
Andrew, I was in contact with him. He's the one, like I said, I did FOIA request.
it'll be hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix.
Nobody knows, because nobody's done a
I
study.
have a pretty good idea.
But nobody's done a
You'd
study.
have to reroute the sewers.
You could talk to Adam, who is actually came out.
What's his last name?
Gerlich.
Where does
He's
he
with the
work?
city of
Okay,
Plymouth.
we know him then.
Okay? Adam's been out, just like you guys came out. He understands the issue as well. He's willing to at least look at the feasibility of changing it. So I suggest you talk to him. I don't think we should be subjected to the smell anymore. I think 30 years is enough.
Well, it hasn't been smelling for 30 years, it's just been the last 2.
Actually, it has been smelling for 30 years. I told you when you were at my house. I extended my stack on my house back in '99 because the smell was coming into my upstairs bathroom and I couldn't figure out what else to do. I didn't know where the smell came from. I was just trying to resolve it on my own.
All right, we'll work it. No guarantees, but we will work it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Non-agenda items? Okay, we're on.
F1, collective bargaining.
I'd like to welcome our union president and former state rep and clerk of Westland to the meeting.
New
Hello.
township resident.
Richard LeBlanc.
All right. So, new business, F1, we're going to approve the collective bargaining agreement with the Technical, Professional, and Office Workers Association of Michigan. We talked about it in closed session. Do we have,
I have a motion.
we have a motion?
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the collective bargain agreement between the Charter Township of Plymouth and the TPOM bargaining unit with a term from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Moved by me, second by Buckley.
Just give you a little background, this is a 3-year contract that has a 3% increase each year and some other minor changes. And these are people who are working predominantly in our office, in the building here, in office-type jobs, doing water billing, police records, those kinds of things.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Excuse me. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. Bye, John. Next item is a small map amendment to rezone property, oddly enough, from multiple back to what it was for many years, single-family residential on Northville Road. On the, in this case, it is the east side of the road. And our planning consultant from McKenna, Liz Hart, is here. She will explain it.
Thank you Supervisor Kermy. Good evening, board members. Liz Hart with McKenna. This application proposes a rezone of a residential property from the R2A multiple family residential district to the R1 one family residential district. The subject property is located on 14354 Northville Road. It previously consisted of 2 parcels, but in November it was approved, a lot combination was approved, so it is now 1 parcel of approximately a ½ acre. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant wishes to continue to reside in the existing single-unit dwelling on the site and make future improvements. But right now, that's not possible under the current R2A district because single-unit dwelling units are not listed as a permitted use in the R2A district, so they're not allowed to expand the current dwelling unit. So rezoning to the R1 district is necessary to be able to do this. The residential nature of the property is going to remain the same, and the dimensional standards for the R1 district have been met with this proposal. In terms of the future land use map and master plan, the future land use map does designate this site as residential high density, which this rezoning is considered a downzoning, and so that doesn't align with the 2015 future land use map, but it does further several goals of the master plan, including it is a reuse of an existing residential structure. And in addition, there are 9 parcels directly to the west of this, which were rezoned to the R1 in 2021. So it also makes it consistent with zoning around the surrounding area. So on November 19th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing. After the hearing, the commission unanimously recommended the map amendment to the board for approval. And the next step, as an amendment to the zoning map, the final decision is by an affirmative vote of the Board of Trustees and enclosed as a resolution for for approval for the board's consideration. That's my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions, and I do believe the applicant is here tonight. Thank you.
So I have one other comment, is I think it makes it much easier to obtain a mortgage with this zoning. Some mortgage company or lenders are not willing to loan if there's an inconsistency in the zoning for single-family home in a commercial or other district. They're worried about their investment.
And I would like to note that although the Planning Commission vote was unanimous, Commissioner Ladowick, who sits on the Planning Commission, who is the subject of this property, did properly abstain from voting.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Mr. Supervisor.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
Move to adopt resolution number 2025-12-09-100, authorizing adoption of a map amendment to the zoning map rezoning the property at 14354 Northville Road to the R1 One-Family Residential District as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Second by Gross. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Clerk Vorba, yes. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item,
Hang on a
Oh,
second. Did I
sorry.
miss something, or did we, I don't recall us approving the consent agenda.
Yes, we did.
We did?
Yes.
Okay.
Item 3 is park reservations fee schedule. Sarah Wiesel, who's our coordinator for parks and other special projects, will explain these minor changes on the fee and the hours of the park and give us some other background information. Township Park is at the intersection of McClumpha and Ann Arbor Trail, and its name is not McClumpha Park. It's Township Park.
Plymouth Township.
Just happens to be where McClumpha dead ends.
Thank you. Good evening. So shelter reservation availability and fees were last updated in December of 2023, and that was for the start of the 2024 summer season. At that time, we went from 2 sessions down to 1 session per shelter per day, and that session is 12 to 8 currently. Feedback for the 1 session has been very positive from both park staff and the reservation holders. The 1 session has allowed the park staff to better control and maintain the facilities for the enjoyment of all park visitors. The 1 request that we continue to receive from reservationists is, can we get in the shelter or pavilion early? So based on all these special requests, the park staff has requested that we change the reservation start time to 11 a.m. from the 12 p.m. So it would be 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. As you can see in the packet, there's some revenue information. Park reservations are not a big moneymaker for the township, but we do want to make sure that our fees are representative of the amenities that we offer. These amenities include the attached bathrooms at the majority of our facilities. We have the sprayscape, multiple play structures. We have electricity at all of the facilities. And of course, we have our fully enclosed 4-season pavilion, which is heated and air-conditioned. I did some research. Canton offers some similar amenities, and their rental rates range from $120 to $650. And that's for a 5 to 8 hour session. So some of their sites only have portable restrooms and no electricity. So I feel like the proposed rates are very reasonable and competitive for the amenities that we offer. And as everyone knows, the cost of supplies, utilities, and staffing has increased. Thus, there's a need for an increase in our fees. So we're proposing that the reduced fee, which we have for certain service groups, is increased by $15. So it's going to go from $35 to $50. And that's for a Monday through Thursday only. The food prep room fee will remain the same. Resident fees are going to increase by $25. Non-resident fees will increase by $50. I am suggesting that we remove from our fee schedule a wedding ceremony fee. We've had that there, and in my 13 years, I have never charged a wedding ceremony fee. We have had weddings there, ceremonies there, but everybody reserves the pavilion or shelter for their ceremony. So I recommend that we just delete that altogether. And then we would just be adjusting the session start time from 12 PM to 11 AM. Any questions?
So the non-resident fee goes up by 50.
Yes. So the non-resident fee has always been double what the residents pay, at least for the last several years.
And
And there's a special
reservations,
fee for service groups.
Yes, for like Cub Scouts, senior groups, yes.
reservations begin on what date?
We start taking reservations on January 13th, I think,
Okay.
Do you guys require any
for
type
residents, for township residents.
Do you guys require any type of deposit in case there's any damages?
So we do not take a deposit. We just take full payment for the, for the fee at the time
Upfront.
of
We take
reservation.
money up front.
We do have a disclaimer down at the bottom that they initial that we can assess up to $150. And Brian, the park foreman, he is working on we call it a field review. So that, the problem is that we often don't have enough staff to actually be there to do a field review when the party ends, but that's what we need, so then we can properly assess.
What do you mean a field review?
So like they would go through and make sure that there's no damage to the facility and that they've cleaned up appropriately.
Yeah,
Yeah, my son used to work at the park and your daughter as well.
yeah, my son.
And they can trash those places.
Oh, yeah.
from my
Yeah, my
understanding,
3
and not
boys
clean up.
worked at the park as well, yeah.
Yeah, one of
yeah.
the things was, it was a good idea to put it to one session, because it was putting the park workers in the awkward position of trying to kick somebody out.
Sure.
And,
It was
you
very
got
difficult, yes.
19-year-old kids, they're trying to kick somebody out who won't go, and,
Yeah.
that was just not good.
And that park, the park is just, it's so busy. It's
Yeah,
such a
it's
busy
busy.
park. It's a beautiful
What-
park.
on the
Everybody loves
13th
it. Everybody wants to be there.
On the 13th, people start lining up out in the parking lot.
At 5 o'clock.
There's a guy that
Yes.
that comes at 5 and
Yep.
sleeps in his truck. He always wants to be
Yeah.
first in line.
He needs the same date every year for his family reunion.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Yep. We get a lot of regulars that day.
All right, do we have any more discussion? Have a motion?
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve Resolution 2025-12-09-101, authorizing the adoption of the revised park reservation fees as amended to become effective January 1st, 2026.
Second.
Second by Clinton. Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Kermy,
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy, I'm sorry. Trustee Buckley,
Yes.
Trustee Clinton,
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz,
Yes.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item.
Okay,
number-
wait, 1 second, please.
Sorry.
1 second. That, just because she's a longtime resident of Lake Point and my neighbor, but I think the accountability and the oversight of our waste pickup is a model. It's an excellent job, and I want to thank you, Sarah Wiesel.
Thank
We
you.
have 3 pickups, and we're spoiled.
Yes, we are spoiled.
3 different trucks come through, and I can't thank you enough for your oversight and your accountability.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Item 4, which is part of we're redesigning the water bill, which in February will be a little bit different. It'll be the same size and color, but it'll have some changes to make it more user-friendly. But as part of that change, we want to change the penalty for late payment. Currently, it's 5%, where it's experiencing almost 8,000 late payments a year, and some people are using it as a regular bank because at 5%, it potentially is cheap money. It's cheaper than 20% for a credit card, even cheaper than a home equity loan. So Patrick Felrath will be here to tell us a little bit about, he's a director of our Department of Public Works, and he's going to give us a little background and seek our approval.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening. Tonight before you, as Mr. Supervisor pointed out, the board has requested to increase the late fee penalty applied to water and sewer bills. The current penalty for anyone that pays a bill late is 5%. 5% is added to the bill. And as was mentioned, this has resulted, over the years, an increase in the number of late payments. Over 6,000 late payments to date for the residential accounts, and over 1,500 for the commercial. So in an effort to reduce this number of late payments and all the inefficiencies associated with it from a processing standpoint, it was deemed it was necessary to increase the penalty. And then it would also bring us more aligned with our neighboring communities. So before you tonight is to consider raising it from the current 5% penalty to 15% to help reduce the number of late payments that we receive on a regular basis.
Well, my first reaction is that I've had several residents actually contact me to say that the time frame for which to pay the payment the window is very short. Yeah. And they're not given enough lead time. And these are from respectable people in the community who can easily pay their bills.
Actually,
if they're away on vacation. Yeah.
No, I was going to say the exact same thing. I actually just got my bill, and December the 3rd, I received the bill, and by December 22nd, it's due. That's less than 3 weeks. I don't even know it's that a law.
No, it's allowed.
At least for 30 days, I think it has to be. I'm not an attorney, but I think it has to be at least 30 days. But less than 3 weeks, I just think it's completely unreasonable.
People can sign up for automatic pay, and then they don't have to worry about it.
ACH. Also,
Of course you can, but
your bill is posted online. Also, you can go to the property record and find it.
there's lots of options. But the point is, most people wait for the bill to figure out when it is, and then they pay it. But it should be at least 30 days, not for like 3 weeks, not even 3 weeks, because it takes 3 or 4 days until the mail comes in.
Well, we had an incident back in the summer in which the post office lost a substantial number of bills.
I had the exact same issues. I had to pay it, and I did, obviously.
Well, we waived it. We waived it. Wait a minute. What's the matter?
Mike is on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No?
It's working.
It's on.
Yeah.
How about now? Dwayne, you got a hearing problem?
So why is there such a short window?
Well, I think the U.S. mail is to blame for most of the time.
No, the bills are printed and they're sent out, and they're due on the 20th, because that's the way this system.
Yeah, it's a systems thing that's been around for 45 or 50 years.
When we go to BSNA in the cloud next year, we should be able to change that timing.
I've received water bills for 45 years here. Never had a late bill. I mean, I never paid a bill late.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to argue with
Yeah,
these particular people because it didn't affect me, but now coming back to them and saying, oh, and by the way, if you don't get that paid, you now have a 15% late penalty. I don't know, seems a little steep.
Their credit card is typically 25 days for a credit card. I bet they pay that on time, considering the penalty you get for paying a credit card late.
Well, that was when I was a treasurer, that was my number one problem. People used to say, geez,
I just got the bill.
I just got the bill and it's already overdue. This is ridiculous, I shouldn't pay. So I mean, 5%. The other issue too is at the end of, for the taxes, if the water isn't due, then you'll get a 35%
Penalty.
penalty.
Put it on the
right?
tax roll.
Yeah.
So you
So-
get
so-
15 and 35.
Well, for 3 months it's 5, another 3 months is 5, another 3 months is 5.
No, it doesn't
And if you end with
compound.
a bill, then it's 35. So to me, you can get it one way or the other, but I don't know, I'm opposed to this one.
Remember that the root cause of the failure at Flint Water was non-payment of water bills by the residents. So there needs to be an inducement to pay.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, what happened is they bankrupted the system. They then sought an alternative to the Detroit water system, and they implemented it poorly.
So you
But the
do
root cause-
foresee that happening here? You're
No,
gonna
not because of
bankrupt
our
the system?
economic situation, but
But recall, with Great Lakes Water, I mean, we were paying for what, was it Hamtramck?
Highland Park,
Highland Park. Everyone was being hit at Highland Park because they weren't paying.
we were
their
paying
bills.
their bill for them.
Yeah.
But that
Because-
doesn't have anything to do with the
No,
fact
no,
that.
no.
Anyway,
They get, I mean, that sits bad with me as well, what Mark said, because they don't have a lot of time to pay the bill, and a lot of times they come in our office and say, I just got, the mail was late again, and I just got this on Saturday, and I didn't have time to pay it, and they don't want to do on ACH for whatever reason.
But don't people generally know that they get a water bill every 3 months?
Oh, that's really
I mean, they know it's coming.
Yeah, you get, I mean, people get a lot of bills, but they're not, I don't know if it's automatic trigger to a busy person to say, oh, it's been 2 months and I should look and see where my bill is.
I bet their mortgage they pay attention to.
From your experience collecting water bills, what is your recommendation, including the former treasurer?
My recommendation was 10%,
10%.
yeah.
What is yours, Mr. Clinton?
Me?
What is your recommendation?
Sticking at 5%.
Well, obvious, 7.5.
No, you need round numbers.
But that's not even competitive with what everyone else is doing.
What are other people paying?
Right here.
Northville Township, 10%, Plymouth City, 15%, Van Buren
Oh,
Township,
yes,
10,
yeah,
and
I saw
Livonia,
that.
10.
Yeah.
That just sounds really harsh to me. I mean, our summer bill with sprinklers at $450, I mean, 10% is $45. So, I mean, we're in
15% is
$70
$65
for
bucks.
come a day late.
But
But your neighbors then would subsidize you if you pay late. Because we have to pay the fixed costs every month and the variable costs
okay.
on time to Great Lakes Water Authority.
No,
So if,
I truly think 7.5 to 10% is reasonable. The 15 sounds a little too high.
it's the same people typically who are letting I have a hard time believing that they can't pay because of the same people that put it on their tax roll every year, and I know what they're doing.
They're writing it off.
They're cheating on their income tax by saying it's a deduction,
Yeah,
because it's,
right,
part of their tax bill, so
Yeah.
all they do is pick up the bottom line.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, so I just don't
stretching
believe
it
that.
pretty
I
far.
think
oh no,
it has more to do with administrative.
Yes, obviously some people do that, but the majority of the people don't. So why do you have to get the penalty for most of the people that don't, for the few of them that actually do? I'm gonna stick with 5%, or I'm gonna say no.
Do we have any
well,
amendment to this?
hold on a second. Somebody had something to say here, they had their hand up. Do you have your hand up? No? Okay, so nobody has their hand up. You have your hand up?
I did.
So come up here and tell us what you think.
got a question for Patrick.
Well, then you gotta come up here.
You gotta come up here.
You gotta come up here so that everybody can hear it.
No, there is no grace period.
Okay, that's
I didn't hear what he said.
We didn't hear the question.
is there a grace period on the bill?
Okay, so what is it?
It's
They
like
get it and they
this-
have
this-
to
you know,
pay it
and-
within 3 weeks?
For example, the payment is due on this date, and you have 5-day grace period, which, just a new deadline, 5 days later. Yeah, but some communities do have a grace period.
Sometimes I think we have a one-time,
Yeah, we do enact a one-time penalty waiver,
Moratorium.
you know.
So what if we?
If someone pays late and it's the first time they ever did it, we waive it. But if it's more than once, we don't.
Yeah,
So what if we increase it, we test it out, and then we come back with the same amount of people not paying their bill? Can we then
Then our-
lower it back?
then our
seeing that it's
hypothesis
not
was,
working?
hypothesis was incorrect, that was the inducement. You won't know unless you try it.
You know, the other issue, which the next agenda, is the residents versus the commercial. The commercial is going to be an issue because
They pay once a month, right?
they pay once a month, right? So they're already have to pay a penalty because for 30 days, it's,
Or they could go on ACH. Businesses are using automatic check writing all the time.
that's true. They pay the bill and include the penalty
yeah.
because of the cycle of their check.
Right, they
cutting
do it
their
all the
checks.
time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they said 5% they do it, but if they could go up to 15%, they're obviously will.
They might change their program then and pay earlier.
I think the number of late payments is, really speaks volumes. 6,046 residential late and 1,499 commercial late. So that does say that there is an established pattern of people paying late.
And by late, what do we mean? A week late? Like, when are they trickling in? Is this?
Most of them
After the
are
due
a
date.
day or two. Or if they mail it, that's the other problem. They mail it in and it's postmarked on, the 18th and we get it on the 25th. That's the other big problem. And a lot of these late payments are because the mail is so unreliable.
Can we change that so that
That
you can
doesn't seem
use
very
the
egregious.
postmark date?
Not really, because what if something comes in a year later?
We're trying to simplify and reduce labor. It's tough if you have to make a judgment on every payment. Does somebody have something, you gotta come up here.
If things are generally just a few days late, to Mark's point, can we give them 30 days instead of 3 weeks? And then maybe kind of split the baby kind of thing, give them 30 days, bump it up to 10%.
So we have to change our system to do that.
Sorry, my name is Stacy.
I don't know
Mullen.
why is it on the 20th, Mark? Do you recall?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Why is it due 3 weeks later?
That's what I have right
Is there
here.
something about the system?
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what you were
The
saying.
question is, why did we have it due on the 20th? Do you recall? Instead of, could we extend the due date to 30 days?
I don't know if they can or not.
Is that programmable, that you can make it 30 days?
Don't know.
This is from the treasurer's department or the
No,
water
it's
department?
Water department.
Water
The
department.
Water Department, Public Works.
So how was the date figured out initially?
Oh my God, that was probably 50-plus
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
been around forever. I'm a little leery with the prospect of changing the system when we only have one water billing specialist.
Well, why don't we explore whether or not we can change that, and then at the next meeting, we can take this up?
Let's postpone this.
That's what I would want to know, how do you make it 30 days from when you send the bill out? It seems like you'd be able to program the system to do that, but I don't.
I don't know.
Well, it seems reasonable enough. I mean, every other
We're using a system that is
bill you
a
get.
little older.
Oh, it's very old.
It's a legacy system.
that we're gonna replace in less than a year.
Right, that's why I don't want to invest a lot of money in it. If we're going to replace it by November of 2026.
So maybe.
New BSNA software.
Maybe, we postpone the increase in the penalty until then.
Okay.
Hey, keep in mind, we do a lot of adjustments when the bills do come in.
What was
So
that?
We do a lot of billing adjustments when the.
I know, but it's one time in your life that you get an adjustment.
No, not just for penalties. There's a series of adjustments we do for payments. And
What do you
You know,
mean?
we just don't want to overlap because we do penalty waivers. We do, and then you run into the next billing period where we're
Yeah.
actually.
So you're saying it's overlapping would create some confusion?
I think there will be an overlapping of the next cycle into the current cycle, but like you said, we can look into it, but that's my hunch is what is going to happen, because we do have a sort of a manual process.
Yeah, I think the positive reinforcement might be the better start than the negative reinforcement, just to see if there's some change in behavior from the residents, if that's at all feasible.
Positive meaning try to get,
A
we can't do
longer
it,
period of time,
a longer
a normal
payment
period of
period?
time. 30 days.
Yeah. My judgment is we won't be able to do that until we upgrade. But we can look at it.
Let me see your bill, Mark.
Just, I'm miffed that people are having a hard time. We also have a subsidy. There's a way to subsidize your water bill that comes from, it's on the treasurer's front desk of how to help with payments if you can't afford it. So I'm miffed that people and businesses are not paying their water bill and that's a basic, fundamental human need is water. You'd figure that would be your priority over your cell phone. I bet you don't pay your cell phone bill late. It won't stay on very long.
Okay.
All right, so, you're saying the consensus is to postpone this indefinitely, and then when we reprint the bills, we'll just continue with 5%? Is that the consensus?
No, that might be programmable. Let me see that again.
I think the consensus is that we want to find out if it
If
is
you can
possible to change the
And
date.
And then we can
don't
bring
know,
it
but
back.
we gotta postpone this
Until
indefinitely until
such time
we
we
find out if it's feasible and if it's worthwhile.
There's two things that have to be changed, and they're probably just settings in the system. One is the due date, and the other one is the penalty. But the penalty just says amount due after the state, so, and it's printed on there. So that 5%, I would bet it's not hard-coded in the system, but it's
No.
a setting somewhere.
It's gotta be
But I don't have
programmable.
if I don't have access to the settings in the utility billing
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
All right, what is the consensus? We wanna vote on it,
I think we just.
or do you wanna have a postponement?
Let's just postpone.
Okay, postpone indefinitely this item and the
Yep.
next one,
Right,
which is related to it.
okay.
It'll take 2 readings
Right.
to
anyway,
implement this
Anyway,
also.
okay.
Next item.
Thank you, Pat. Number 6, right?
Number 6, purchasing of a new pickup truck. I'm assuming it's red for the fire chief.
Skip 5?
Brooke, did I skip it?
No, 5.
No, we postponed 4 and 5.
Because they go together.
So now we're on 6.
Good evening, Board. In front of you is the proposal to purchase a new 2025 F-150 pickup truck for the fire chief, replacing the current vehicle. That's a 2016 Ford Explorer with 136,000 miles on it. It's time to replace this vehicle. This vehicle was in the budget for this year. $62,000 was in the budget for this year for the vehicle. It came in a little bit higher than that after the upfit, and it's $67,500 for the vehicle and the upfitting to put the lights on it, and radios and equipment installed.
This vehicle is in an inventory now, right now, correct?
Correct, yes, it's on the lot at our,
At the dealer?
the dealer that does the My Deal purchases. So,
I have something I'd like to say, if I can be recognized.
Yes.
Chief Conley, I did send you an email. I personally feel, first, I think a lot of people don't understand this, but the township provides a non-marked, but with lights in the dashboard vehicle for the fire chief, the police chief, and the assistant chief. The police chief lives in the community. The fire chief lives in another community. The assistant chief lives in another community. And these vehicles are being provided unmarked under the auspice that, I mean, they're provided under the idea that it's so that they can respond back to emergencies. But if they're driving the vehicle to and from home, which is what's happening, we're basically subsidizing their ability to get to and from work. And I don't think it's really an emergency response if you're coming from, say, White Lake Township or Northville Township. So I don't believe that I think that we need to have a vehicle available for these people at work, but if they don't live in the community, I don't think we should be providing the vehicle. I don't think it's the taxpayer's responsibility.
So
I recognize your opinion,
I
Ms.
know.
Groth. The thing is, the standard of the industry is fire chiefs have unmarked vehicles now with lights in them. I don't know of any fire chief in any area that lives in the community they work in. It's the standard. This is a tool for me to do my job. There's been numerous times where I've gotten home, a call has come in, and I've turned right back around and come in.
I'm not saying
I'm working in that car from the second I get in that car in the morning to the second I get here. Same thing on the way home. This is what I need to do my job.
I'm not saying that you don't do that. What I am saying as a representative of the taxpayers is that I don't believe we should be providing vehicles for people who respond back to emergencies in unmarked vehicles, and furthermore, who use the vehicle living out of Plymouth Township is a choice. The board has a choice as to whether or not we want to provide a vehicle when you don't live here.
And I'm very responsible with my vehicle. The supervisor knows that. I don't go to Boy Scout outings with my vehicle.
Nobody
I use
suggested
my vehicle.
that.
I use my vehicle to work and back for purposes of this job.
Nobody suggested that, so please don't
Well,
imply.
it's not an extravagant expense.
To you,
for
Mr.
others.
Conley, to me it is. And I'm entitled to my opinion as a
You
board
are
member and a
entitled to your
representative of the people. You
And-
have said what you have to say, but don't make it personal because it is not.
I'm just saying, this is a tool I need to do my job.
I've already made the statement. You can choose to live where you choose to live. Whether or not we choose to provide that is another issue, and that's a board
Well,
decision.
and the board can also vote to, when we have hires within these departments, that there is a stipulation that they have to live within a certain
We
mileage.
can't.
No, it's
But
not anymore.
it has been in other departments. As a police officer, I've been
anymore.
aware.
We cannot do that anymore.
Used to.
Against Michigan state law.
Yeah.
Well, we're from Virginia, but I know for my husband, who works in Royal Oak, if he should go to the Detective Bureau, he will be assigned a vehicle and he'll have to drive it all the way back here.
And that's
So
fine that
that's
they
just
do that
standard
here.
operating procedure.
This is
Cut-
Plymouth
you know,
Township.
If we can't do
Cut-
that, then we have to allow them to do their job and to use these vehicles and to provide them for them.
Essentially, the vehicle is an aid to their job, but it's also an untaxed $13,000 a year benefit because there is a commuting component. But if you were in the private sector, it would be taxed.
It's
That
imputed income.
Yeah, but not for him.
Or the
Police
police.
and fire are a special situation. They're
Under
accepted.
tax law.
Yeah, they're exempt.
Well, we had it as an agreement, but now I think the IRS has made a change. So you can commute to work. They're the only people that have that luxury. They can
It's a
commute to
perk.
work.
Our
It's a perk of the
DPW
position and the
foreman
job.
pays. Pardon? Our DPW foreman pays the
Yeah, but
taxes.
he's not police and fire.
That's what I'm
So
saying,
it's
yeah.
police and fire
He
are
pays,
exempt.
he pays.
An
taxes
imputed
on-
income.
Yes, he
Imputed
does.
income.
On back and forth to work or
Yes.
just personal?
No, with our vehicle.
That's personal, back and forth to
Because
work.
he's responsible for all the sewers and water.
Yeah.
He has to come in on emergencies, but he pays for the back and forth as a tax benefit.
It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it is, because that's the way the IRS rule is.
It's a benefit.
Anything from the public?
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Your recommendation.
To do it, that's why it's in here.
I'm sorry?
I recommend we purchase it because of where we are in the budget cycle
Okay.
and the age of the vehicle. He's been asking me every day since I got elected for a new vehicle. I said, you gotta run up more miles.
We ran it up. He took it for a ride last week and agreed with me.
So, we're also going to retain the vehicle. You know, I'm an advocate of keeping vehicles longer. I understand vehicles. I don't believe in the emotion of, it's going to fall apart because it has more than X number of miles on it. I know what a vehicle is made of and why it does what it does and how, because that was my job for 42 years.
Mr. Supervisor.
Go ahead.
I move to approve Resolution 2025-12-9-104, authorizing the purchase of the 2025 Ford F-150 XLT pickup truck at the cost not to exceed $67,500.
Second.
Second by Buckley. Vorba, yes. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
No.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Board.
And we're going to work on the upfitting. I think the upfitters are beginning to really gouge the system. So we're going to be, even if we have to drive somewhere, take it somewhere 20 miles away, 30 miles away, maybe it's worth it. All right.
Number 7 is being pushed.
Number 7, the police vehicles is being pushed because we need to approve the budget before we spend money.
Right.
So we're pulling ahead to number 8, which is budget amendments for 2025 with Carol Roshan, our finance director, and these are typically housekeeping to make sure that our funds,
Balance.
line items have sufficient money in them for our spending.
So good evening, Board. So we have our fourth quarter budget amendments. Am I too loud?
No,
So
it's okay.
first of
That's
all,
good.
we have wages for the supervisor's office for our part-time payroll employee. She worked some additional hours this year. So we are amending budget by $1,000. After that, we have professional and contractual services in the supervisor's department. This was just a budget error. It's $400 a month for the corporate benefits solutions for what we call employee navigator. That should have been $4,800, and it was budgeted at $4,000, so we had to put the additional, that's for the 2026 budget, Bob.
That's a human resources benefits management software.
Yes. So in the fire department, we had one of the firefighters retire this year, and he had his one-time sick and vacation payout, so we need to adjust budget $35,000 for his payout. In the senior center, they had some engineering studies done for the storm drain and the parking lot. That totaled $13,300. We hadn't originally budgeted for that. Hopefully, we've been told we'll probably get a grant next year to be able to go in and finish up the parking lot and drain. So for right now, we're gonna budget the $13,300 for this year. That'll be a capital outlay for construction in progress, and then next year we will add to that fixed asset.
This will be a federal CBDG grant to fix the drains in the sidewalk, in the parking lot, which are essentially dry wells that overflow when it rains.
Right.
Is
So then,
that over and above the CBDG grant we get for transportation?
yeah, it has nothing
It's
to do with it.
something
This
different,
this
okay.
is coming through the county.
Okay.
A special, it's approximately, Jeremy, is approximately a 400,000 or 500,000. So we will re-engineer the parking lot, then maybe we can use it for voting someday,
When I'm not here.
when you're not here.
Carol, where are you?
Right
I'm on
there.
that page,
Okay.
about halfway down.
13.3.
So I am on account number, which would be 101-701-801-000, the contractual and professional and contractual services for planning. We need a budget amendment for $7,000, and this has to do with a public transit project. After that, planning also has some planning services. It appears right now we're going to be over what we originally budgeted, so we'll need an additional $7,000. Planning also has a DPS staff member that does some work for them, and DPS is a different fund, so we're going to be about $2,400 short this year, so we need to bump that up.
That's Carol Martin, correct?
Correct. We have, the Planning Commission had some additional training. We had $1,000 budgeted, but we spent $1,300, so we need an additional $300 there. The park, their wages for this year, we need an additional $32,000. The budget was, I'm not sure what went on, it looks like it was budgeted too low. And then also at the park, the contractual lawn care appears right now we're going to need about another $20,000 so we don't go over budget. So the general fund appropriations total $118,800. Moving on to the DDA, the utility for the billing for the EV chargers, what we pay DTE, we're going to need about another $8,000 in that budget. On the other side of that, it appears as of the end of November, we had revenue of $61,000. So even with that addition, we're on the plus side with the EV chargers, and I believe the EV chargers has 2 more months of revenue that will probably come in. Technically, we're not supposed to make revenue on the EV chargers, but we do have to have money because eventually, even though they're new, they're going to need repairs.
Right.
So, and there's depreciation to go along with that. Moving on to water and sewer, the sewage disposal costs. It's hard to anticipate with water and sewer what our actual costs are going to be, so just to be sure that we don't go over budget for the sewage disposal, I'm requesting an amendment of $146,000, and then the water purchases is $500,000, so that would be a total of $646,000 for water and sewer. Total appropriations is $772,800 for all funds.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees hereby adopt Resolution 2025-12-09-106, authorizing various fiscal year 2025 budget amendments as outlined and attached.
Second?
Moved by Groth, second by Stewart. Clerk Corva, yes. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
We'll move on to number 9, which is the 2026 general fund budget, which we reviewed a couple of times in the fall. This recommendation is balanced very closely with revenue. So we may have to make some adjustments later, but Carol, is that correct? We're essentially a wash, or maybe 30,000?
We have a small surplus at this point, so we're looking good. But before we get started, I just want to have a few comments about the budget. So I want to say that Our budget is a financial plan that estimates expected revenues and expenditures for a single year, and the budget is a planning tool. It's not carved in stone. We have developed the budget the best we could with the information available to us at this time, which means the budget can change as the year moves on. If revenue comes in lower than anticipated, the departments will need to cut back on whatever they were planning to spend. Plymouth Township adopts revenues by fund and expenditures by department. That means the board is not technically approving each individual item and each account number in each department. The department total is being approved. Departments cannot just spend because something is in their budget. The purchasing policy must be adhered to. The bottom line department budget must be kept in mind when purchasing. If estimates for a purchase is higher than anticipated, the department must decide on where they can cut back to cover that overage. Amending the budget and asking for more money is not adhering to a budget. That is an open checkbook. There are times when something unanticipated happens and a budget must be amended. Those times should be few and far between. So we're putting a budget out there. We're wanting the department heads to plan and if there's some surprises, see where they can cut back. If it's an absolute emergency or we can't come up with the funds, at that point we'll come and amend budget, but we don't want to be trying to amend budget regularly. We'd like to stay within the budget we put out there. So our first budget, and I don't really have a presentation for anything because we've been through these and I really haven't had any questions for anybody. So first of all, we have the general fund budget. There's a $64,000 surplus at this point in time. I do have a page in there, it's page 203, which will show you what items have been changed from the original draft you received for September 1st.
The biggest one is reduction in state shared revenue, 75,000. Is that right? Page
Yes,
203.
we did decrease the state shared revenue, and based on what has come in actually this year in the building department for the building inspections and the plumbing permits, and then when Brian was here with Plant Moran, he mentioned that he thought our revenue was a little flat. So based on what we know of projects that have started, that will go into next year or will start next year, we bumped up revenue for the building department.
But that's only true if it comes in.
Yes, just like any other year, yes.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple adjustments in expenditures. The largest one, there are 4 items you'll see in here that are BS&A related. They total $130,600. There's an adjustment in the water and sewer fund for their portion of BS&A. And we already did have some BS&A maintenance fees in there, so this isn't the full cost, this is just in addition to. The police department hired 2 new employees and they did not take benefits. So you'll see an adjustment there where we backed out what would have cost for benefits and they took the opt-out, so the $3,900 each was put in. So there was some other major changes there. And when we originally went through in the park, the play structure upgrades, we didn't budget for those. I didn't have a figure at that time. So now we have the figure and we put that in. So with all of these adjustments, at this time, we're showing a $64,000 surplus for fiscal year 2026 in the general fund.
Now, it's my understanding we're not putting any money in OPEB?
Correct.
Now, in the past several years, we've put $250,000 each
Correct.
time. Now, if, for everyone's edification, we passed a millage in order to help do that along with the pension. And the reason we had to do that is because so many communities, Plymouth Township being one of them, were not putting enough money away for that. And so the state came down with a mandate that virtually forced us to have a tax increase in order to do that. And it looks like we're kind of returning to the practice of the past, which was not responsible. And so I'm disappointed that we're not continuing to put money in the OPEB when that's what we should be doing. And I'm disappointed in that. I'm not saying I'm not going to vote for the budget because there's things in here that need to happen, but I'm surely disappointed that we're not fulfilling our obligation, and going back to a pay-as-you-go is what got us in trouble to begin with, along with not just Plymouth Township, a lot of communities. So I want to voice that I think we should be putting money into that, and I think it's the responsible thing to do, and that we should continue to do that until the system is much closer to 100%.
So let me make a few comments on that. We put in the committed amount that was in the millage, $250,000 a year for, was it 5 years?
6.
6. We did it an additional year, which we weren't obligated to do, in 2025.
I understand.
We are in an acceptable position, and we will make adjustments as time goes on. The stock market has exploded. We're okay. We're not going to be stopping payments for people's retirement benefits. We also have in place new hires since 2015 approximately do not get retiree health benefits. So we're capping the long-term legacy cost on that. So we're covering two fronts.
Where do you stand on it, Bob?
I agree with Jerry. However, if we were to fund it, I think Carol and Chuck and the department has had to squeeze in everywhere they could to get us to a balanced budget. If we were to fund that this year, we would have to take it out of fund balance. So we would take it out of our general account and
Our reserve.
Our reserve, and we put it
The
in.
non-restrictive.
Yeah.
But you see.
We can always address it, if it turns out we end up with a surplus.
But that's what got us into trouble before, along with every other community that failed to do this. And so it's just a responsible thing to just go ahead and do it and keep it moving in the right direction.
Trouble's not the word. It was the state passed a law.
Well, because
But
everybody.
we weren't in trouble. We were
Yes, we
meeting our
were.
obligations.
You never know you're going to meet those obligations because you weren't funding it. And so it was that behavior that caused the state to mandate it, because so many places were not funding it and wanting to pay as you go, because some places have millions and millions of dollars worth of responsibility. And that's just not responsible. We made an agreement with people to fund it, to have this benefit. And yes, it's capped, because there's a new system now, but this is for the people that we had these promises before. And Mark Clinton did a great job in putting together a program to where we were going to fund this. And I think it's irresponsible to not keep doing it. And while I'm talking about that, listen, folks, there's nobody that hates taxing people unnecessarily. There's nobody on this board that has done more to keep taxes lower than me. I'm the one who did, when I was in the legislature, Prop A, which saved gazillions of dollars. So no one has been more of a anti-tax person than myself. But the real issue is that in the coming next couple of years, you've got revenue going like this, and you got costs going like this. That gap is going to continue. So in 27 and 28, you're going to end up taking money out of this fund that you won't have available for OPEB and pensions, because it's going to be eaten up. So you're not going to have that money. And I'm here to tell you, the responsible thing to do is you're probably looking at sometime in the next year or two of having a tax increase, because this is what's happening. Doesn't matter how you crunch the numbers, this is what we're going to be $2 million in the hole by the end of our term in 28.
Okay, Mr. Supervisor, thank you for your fiscal responsibility. Move to adopt resolution number 2025-12-09-107, authorizing the adoption of the 2026 Charter Township of Plymouth General Appropriations Act for General Fund and the 2026 budget as outlined and attached in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein.
Second.
Second, moved by Stewart, second by Buckley. Roll call. Clerk Vorba, yes. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thanks. We go to the next one. This is number 10, enterprise budgets.
So your enterprise funds is the transportation fund, the water and sewer fund, and the rubbish collection fund.
Page.
Page 243 shows the changes that I have made to the water and sewer fund since you originally saw their budget. There is a line for BSNA, which is $29,700 additional fees. And the only other change they have is they had an employee go from part-time to full-time. So we changed the full-time line for wages, we decreased the wages in the part-time, and then we had to make adjustments to Social Security, Medicare, and medical benefits. So that is the only change that we've had since the original. Transportation fund is showing a surplus of $12,900. Water and sewer has more projects this year. They are showing a use of fund balance of $6,189,900, and rubbish collection fund is showing a surplus of $71,300.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to adopt Resolution 2025-12-09-108, authorizing the adoption of the 2026 Charter Township of Plymouth General Appropriations Act for the Enterprise Funds budget as outlined and attached in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein.
Second.
Second by, moved by Groth, second by Stewart.
Wait, I got a question.
Okay, what is it?
Any comments?
Did you say that the deficit would be $6 million on the water and sewer fund?
Yes, based on all of the projects that he has, that Patrick has budgeted for.
Okay, so that's not because of run rate operational costs, those are for
No,
special
it's
projects?
capital.
Okay, that's capital.
Yeah.
Some of those have been deferred.
Yeah.
And depending on how things go, some may get deferred again, but most of it is putting assets in the ground.
Yeah, I got it.
The biggest one is the water, the $500,000 water tank and pipeline on 5 Mile.
5 Mile. Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Groth.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Clerk Vorba, yes. Motion carries.
Number 11, special revenue funds.
So the special revenue funds are the Federal Drug Forfeiture Fund, the State Drug Forfeiture Fund, the IRS Drug Forfeiture Fund, the Opioid Settlement Fund, and the ARPA Fund, which we've closed up this year. There will be no more ARPA. So based on the fact that you cannot budget revenues other than interest earned at the bank for the forfeiture funds, we are showing a use of fund balance at this point in time of $208,800 for the federal drug forfeiture, $138,900 for the drug law forfeiture, $1,900 for the law enforcement IRS forfeiture, $500 surplus in the opioid fund. We did move from the general fund the purchase of more police equipment over into the federal and state drug funds for fiscal year 2026. And the flock cameras are also moved over to the federal drug fund, or the state. So we've moved, the new cameras, we've moved over into these funds. They're not coming out of general fund.
Does that include the 2 police vehicles we're going to be looking at? Is the
Yes.
money there for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the 142,000.
Right. Mr. Supervisor, I move to adopt Resolution 2025-12-9-109, authorizing the adoption of the 2026 Charter Township of Plymouth General Appropriation Act for the special revenue funds budget as outlined in the attached in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein.
Second.
Second by Growth. Clerk Forba, yes. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Growth.
Yes.
Trustee Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So we move to number 13, which is
Number
capital
12.
project
Or
funds.
12, don't we?
Yeah, we should.
Component unit, excuse me. Component units funds,
Okay,
number
so
12.
the component units are made up of the Downtown Development Authority and the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. So currently, we're showing a use of fund budget of $30,000 for the DDA and a surplus of $33,300 in the Brownfield. Based on how projects are moving, these two funds were hard to budget, so there may be some budget adjustments next year if projects get moving quicker than anticipated.
Now, we're moving from DDA 55,000 for police protection
Yes,
and 61.5 for flock cameras or license plate readers? Is that
yes.
right?
There's a capital outlay item for the DDA for the cameras.
And that's gonna be
For
put in the
portion of the
DDA,
cameras
right?
we're
It's going to be in
purchasing
the
that are
DDA,
DDA.
along Andover Road,
Okay.
which stretches from Eccles to just west of Sheldon.
How much did you say for the cameras?
Their portion was 61.5. I'm going by pure memory. I'd have to find it in here. I think it was 61.5.
You're right.
Okay, just an idea, that's what I wanted.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to adopt Resolution 2025-12-9-110, authorizing the adoption of the 2026 Charter Township of Plymouth General Appropriations Act for the Component Units Fund budget as outlined and attached in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein.
Second.
Second by Buckley. Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Growth.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Clerk Forba, yes. Motion carries.
So that, Carol, are we done?
No,
We
she's
have
got.
number 13?
We got
Number
13,
13.
Yeah.
and then go to 7,
Yeah.
and then to 14, and then the FOIA.
That's right, okay. 13, capital project fund.
So the capital project fund, or we also call that the Township Revolving Improvement Fund. This is the fund where police, fire, Township Hall, DPW, they all have $50,000 set aside in this fund for emergency repairs, usually for building, but it could be other things. So we don't have anything budgeted to actually spend next year because we don't have an emergency at this point in time. We do have some interest budgeted that we will earn at the bank, but other than that, there is no activity on this. If it's a larger expense, it will come to the board. If it's an emergency, Chuck will approve it depending on what's going on at the time. So this has really no expenditure budget at this point in time.
So the money's there if we need, we have money to take care of our emergencies.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to adopt Resolution Number 2025-12-09-111, authorizing the adoption of the 2026 Charter Township of Plymouth General Appropriations Act for the capital project fund budget as outlined and attached in accordance with the terms and conditions contained therein.
Second.
Second by Growth. Clerk Forba, yes. Treasurer Kermy.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Supervisor Kermy, I apologize, tired. Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Growth?
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz?
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
And Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we're going to do 7.
Thank you.
Now we're going to spend some money, right?
Yes, we are.
I just want to comment, Carol, that this budget presentation is outstanding. It's very understandable. I read it all, and the way you explain it is very, very helpful to all of us, so thank you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, Carol. So 7 is,
The police vehicles.
Carol, are you leaving? Oh, one thing is, for the bills review for the month of December, who's next and do they know it?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Jen and Mark?
Right.
Lieutenant.
Good evening, Board. I come before you tonight to seek approval to be able to order 2 new 2026 police vehicles. I come to you tonight instead of in January because I recently found out on December 1st that Ford is going to be closing the ordering period for the vehicle that we utilize. One that we like, that we use, is the Ford Interceptor all-wheel drive utility with the EcoBoost motor. So that specific one, they're closing that ordering period on January 10th, which falls before the first board meeting of 2026. So we're looking to order just 2 of these vehicles, and that cost will come up to $98,270. And then we're going to have some upfitting costs, and those upfitting costs to be no more than $50,000. I believe that upfitting cost is going to come in significantly less than that because the vast majority of the equipment that we have in the 2 existing vehicles that will be replaced will be able to be transferred over from one vehicle to the other. I would like to do some upgrades, which we've done this year, installing more emergency lights to make our vehicles a bit more visible out there to the motoring public. In addition to installing a second siren, 1, in case there's siren failure, and 2, you get that, what is called the howler, which is the really deep, loud sound to help penetrate into the other cars. Because we know that engineers are making cars quieter and quieter, so we need to be able to overcome that so the motorists know that an emergency vehicle is coming up behind them. The price, the quote, was obtained through state bid through Longhammer Ford, the dealership that we've been purchasing vehicles for quite some time. The order would be submitted, if approved, before the deadline, the first part of January of 2026. And then we could kind of expect between 90 and 120 days before we take delivery of those vehicles. We'll get those vehicles, we'll have them graphics on, and then they will sit. They'll sit until we get more miles on the vehicles that we're going to be rotating out. I like to get between 90 and 100,000 miles on the vehicles before we rotate them out of service. At 5 years, 100,000 miles, that's when the warranty expires on some of the more expensive components, such as the transmission and the engine. Usually at that point in time, these cars are pretty beat up. So typically, we like to get 3 years of service out of our cars. Sometimes we can get more depending on who's operating it. For example, if our sergeants are driving a car, usually we get 6 years out of those cars. The car that we outfitted this year for the lieutenant spot, that's going to get probably quite a few number of years because the number of vehicle miles that I drive is just not that much. So that's what I come before you at this point in time.
Who would be getting these vehicles?
So these vehicles will be assigned to the patrol division. There's 2 vehicles in mind, 23-1, 23-2 specifically, that these 2 vehicles will be the replacements for. But I would imagine probably the end of 2026 or the first part of 2027. At that point in time, we'll have the mileage necessary to be able to make the replacements. When Ford closes the ordering period, they don't tell us if they plan to open it up again in the calendar year. If they do open it up, what we can expect is there's going to be a price increase. I was looking at the cost of the vehicles that we bought in 2025 to the vehicle now. It really was $250 increase, which I thought was actually quite good. At one point in time, a number of years back, we actually experienced a $10,000 price increase from one year to the next.
So you know that tell me when you're done.
I'm done.
You know that I have two concerns. Number one is the upfitting cost is equal to 50% of the purchase price of the vehicle.
Yes.
There's something wrong. Maybe the industry is consolidated, but we need to work that issue. That, I know you're switching, we are using previously used equipment. That's a great idea, but we need to work on that. I cannot fathom this equipment being that high of a percentage of a new vehicle.
Yeah, there was a number of years ago, I should say a number of years ago, within the last 5 years as we coming out of COVID, there was a 20% price increase on just the cost of the materials that the upfitters were buying. You know, of course, that cost gets passed on to us being the consumer. We use Winder Police Equipment, which is a family-run operation in Southgate. We have used others in the past, and some of those uses have been absolute complete disasters. The vehicles just from day one didn't work right. There was a power drain on it. The battery.
Didn't we have a couple of fires, electrical fires?
And that car eventually caught fire, yes.
Yeah.
What's included in the upfitting?
So the upfitting expense is, a lot of it has to do with, the majority of the cost is the parts. The labor is a very small percentage of the upfit expense. So with this one, you're going to have, the changeover of various pieces of equipment. The computers that we have, we don't need to buy new computers. We just transfer it from one to the next. So there's a little bit of labor to do that. The in-car video system is, I just have to buy a new kit, $500. They'll put that in there. There's going to be some labor expenses on that. The tracer bar lights, that would be a new feature that I would like to get for these vehicles. Those are the lights on like the rocker panels.
On the side.
On the side lights, exactly.
So you're not
And then
T-boned.
The siren, yep. We would like the vehicles to be kind of universal with the other ones that we have, to make sure that they have the same siren control features on it as well. What I'm liking is on the light bars that we have in 23.1, 23.2, I'm hoping that they're new enough, have like the amber, like directional arrows. So if a police car is stopped, they can turn on the right one and kind of get the motorist's attention, saying, oh, I need to move over to the right, to kind of speed up traffic a little bit. Because the last thing they want to do is, create a secondary crash behind us.
Yeah, that sounds like a good feature.
So the upfitting is what takes it from being a vehicle to a police vehicle?
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's just in these vehicles, they're not readily available on the lots of dealerships.
Right. Is that the size of the engine?
The engine is, specific for police use. It has an EcoBoost, which is like a twin turbo. We do have 3 that do not have twin turbos in it, and I can tell you that there is a significant difference in acceleration. I hear comments from the officers that, they're a little concerned when they're pulling out to try to catch up to a speeder.
Sure.
They really have to be very
Which
cautious
cars?
on how that next car behind them is. So sometimes
Which
they
cars
have
can't catch up with speeders?
They all can eventually.
Do we have them marked so that we know where they're?
I like that
It's
answer.
it's
They
the
all can
24 series
eventually.
cars. that we
Can't
have.
outrun the Electron.
Yeah.
The other item, that we discussed this, is having vehicles purchased while the meter is running on the warranty and they're sitting idle.
Yes.
So we need to manage that, but it's also, we want to increase the mileage as much as possible. That's why we use 100% synthetic oil. That's
That would
really
take a lot of-
important with turbocharged vehicles and how you treat them when you idle down while that turbo is spinning. You need to make sure there's plenty of good oil in that bearing when you come to a stop. So that's important stuff.
Yes.
So,
Mr. Ready?
yeah, let's go.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve Resolution 2025-12-09-105, authorizing the Plymouth Township Police Department to purchase and upfit 2 new police vehicles not to exceed $150,000 out of the Federal Drug Forfeiture Fund.
Second.
Second by Growth. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Clerk Vorva, yes. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Growth.
Yes.
Motion carries. Number 14.
14 is non-represented employees. These are people that are not represented by a union. These are recommendations that came up from our analyst, Christine Graham, and me. And I'm looking for your approval. In the past, we have not had direct approval like this. It just was done. But it's better to have transparency, and it's also a requirement of township law.
Supervisor Kermy, I appreciate the fact that it is transparent. I appreciate the fact that, something that you're not telling us, because I came to this meeting prepared to say no, except that I was going to say yes because it's not fair to the employees. You have initiated a performance review procedure, which I did not know, and that makes a big difference in how I feel about these raises.
Well, the performance review is more of a coaching tool. I did not use that as a major consideration. Most of this is Conference of Western Wayne comparative data. So you had asked that we have a performance review system.
I did.
So we've done one, and it has, I don't know how successful it is yet. We need to
I
refine it.
appreciate the effort. I just want to make that comment. I appreciate the effort.
Okay.
I just want to make a comment that in March, when we approved a compromise increase for my deputy, we had committed to revisit it at the end of the year. I think my deputy contributes an enormous amount, and he's one of the lowest paid. He is the lowest paid non-rep person.
What?
Or he's second.
Was making 83,000, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had intimated at the time when we did that there was going to be a change this time around.
Yeah, which we could do that on the anniversary of March. We have time.
Oh, okay.
Why do we have to wait till March? It must be, Rob, can you adjust the microphone number 3?
Yeah, I just think you need to be a little closer.
Can you hear me better? Okay. The cord is limited how far I can move the microphone.
It'll be pulled out.
Okay. So where was I?
Is your deputy on here? I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a separate bag. And I left it off because I was planning to do that when we consider raises for elected officials, which have been 3 years. Remember that the deputy treasurer was hired on November 20th of 2024, and we gave a wage increase in March of 2025. So my thinking was, on an annual basis, we would evaluate it. So that's why it was left off.
Yeah, but the difference was that in a number or some of these positions, and I don't want to pick on individuals because this isn't about the individual, but in some of these positions, the salary was increased coming in the door.
Right, that is.
And that didn't happen with the deputy treasurer. So these people that came in the door had increases from the prior position holder, and mine didn't. And I just don't think he's being treated fairly.
Well, he will be in March when you advocate for him. I think he's being paid the same as the clerk,
Yes,
deputy clerk.
Yeah, I don't know what one has to do with the other.
Well, it's just something that goes back
It's
several years, right?
Historical.
I know it's historical, but I don't know what one has to do with the other.
So I've heard you. I urge you to be patient, and we'll bring it forward in February,
We don't do that for the fire chief and the police chief. We don't do that for the,
yeah, we do.
their wages aren't the same.
Oh, no, but they also have different responsibilities.
Thank
And-
you. You just made my point.
Well, see, the deputy clerk during election years, which is coming up, gets a
bonus.
a straight time for overtime.
And that's a special approval that we have to make every year?
No, we've done
Every
that.
election year.
Yeah, we've done it.
But we have to approve, we have to do it again.
No, because that was.
You mean it's already institutionalized?
It's institutionalized for,
Okay.
for election years,
All right.
and it's straight time.
Gary, remember back in 2016?
Yes,
When we won the election?
yes.
How much money did we pay? Do you remember?
How much did we get paid?
You and I. The answer is $101,000.
101, right.
$101,000. And we agreed that we would not pay for the next, that we just.
4
pay
years,
no
we
salary
wouldn't
for the
take any,
next 4 years.
right,
So we paid $100,000 for the next 4 years.
right.
The whole point is it's been, in the next, look at the money now.
Yeah.
It's going crazy.
Yeah,
It's absolutely going crazy. That's why we're going to need a new millage. That's
Yes.
what we're gonna have to do. It's just
Yeah.
inevitable. We're spending too much money.
well, I mean, we're spending what's necessary.
It didn't used to have to be every single year. It could be once every 2 years, once every 3 years. But now it's somehow things that's changed. Every single year, we have it at a bare minimum, 3%, and it's just out of control. And don't forget, right, people get a 15%, a 50% 401K as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah. Yeah, the unfortunate thing that happened, and I know you appreciate this, Mark, and so does everybody else here. I mean, the previous 4 years, we had runaway inflation that really ate into everybody's, 20%, it really ate into everybody's income. And so I know I don't think the electeds have had a raise in a couple, 3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. And so that may be appropriate for March, you think?
I would,
Okay.
we need to talk about it.
Sure.
We need to make our case to these people.
Sure, absolutely.
As to
3
why we
years
deserve
and
more
during-
money or
Yeah.
whatever.
It was 3 years, and during that time, I had to spend my own money to keep my job.
I know,
That's
but.
before you were a high-paid treasurer.
Yeah, so,
I mean that as a joke.
yeah.
I really do. I mean it as a joke.
I knew
You're a
she was joking.
trustee.
Yeah, I knew she was joking. I mean, I agree with Bob that we should put this on a cycle where everyone's on the same cycle. And,
Well, we are, that's what this
I
is,
can
except
wait.
for the electeds.
Sure. Yeah,
And the deputies, which have
Well-
always been a special case.
well, that's because it's required by law that we vote on it, and that's so.
Well, we
so-
can address that, then if your plan is to do it in March, then in March, we should address the fact that we want to change the term so that it is done at the same time
as the
every
other.
year. the-
Yeah, from a
the-
payroll
the end of
standpoint,
the year.
although that institutionalizes
Yes.
annual increases for
Well, not necessarily,
electeds.
just that, it doesn't have to be the same amount, it's something that
But
we.
it's addressed at the
it's-
same time.
Yeah, yes, address it at the same time, and then we have to make that argument to the public,
Right.
so.
So I hope we can move beyond this, and you have my word that we will evaluate it. And you're right, salaries are going up. Oddly enough, many of these raises were not met with a lot of happiness. So it tells you that there's stronger and stronger demands out there.
Yes, there is. Well, we saw that when we were trying to find people in the finance department. I mean, we were running into, we just weren't paying enough money
Right.
to attract quality people. So it's the nature of what I described earlier today, where I said, our revenue is like this, but our costs are going like that, and that gap is going to eat up the fund balance in 2 years. And it's the nature of the business, and it's just something that we're going to have to address. Sooner is probably than later, I think.
Well, you have my commitment to manage as much as possible the cost side of the business, to delay what appears to be thinking that a tax increase is inevitable.
Well, it
I think a
is.
tax increase was planned last year. We're $1.3 million greater in wage and benefit costs, 25 over 26. No, excuse me, 26 over 25.
And that's gonna happen in 27, and it's gonna happen in 28. That's what I'm saying, it's gonna be a couple $1,000,000, and we don't have it. And so, and those are contractual obligations. 75% of our cost is
People.
And so.
And most of those are under labor agreements.
Labor agreements, and so that, see my beautiful graph? That's a true graph, and so, in 27 and 28, you're looking at a tax increase, otherwise you're going to end up with a zero fund balance.
So I'm not ready to join surrounding communities yet, but I'm not giving up yet.
Sure.
Our costs are outpacing our revenue streams.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the new development, there's a lot going on. There's almost zero revenue coming to us because it's going to pay back cleanup costs in infrastructure for the essentially subsidized form of development. So, for example, the Elks Club.
Brownfield.
Yeah, brownfields, but brownfield has been expanded with the new law that allows infrastructure. In the past, it was only cleanup. So now it's grading, interior roads, and storm sewers can all be put into a brownfield. So it's almost about 1/3 to 1/2 of the recovery is going to cleanup, and the remainder is for these infrastructure things.
But you're right, all these homes being built over in the Elks Club, the township's not gonna see any benefit out of that for 24 years.
Or anybody else other than, is it school debt is the only one?
School debt.
Is the only one that gets whole.
I think state education.
But we have a lot of nice homes being built in Muddy Meadows, where we're gaining a lot of tax increase.
That area.
Do.
Yeah. It takes a while for that engine to move forward, but I'm working daily to try to work to control gross. That's in my DNA, that was my training in the auto industry, and I'm trying to apply some of that here.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the proposed pay increases for non-represented employees effective the first pay period of 2026.
That's so we don't have to do the math.
Right.
Second?
Second by trustee Groth. Clerk Vorba, yes. Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Treasurer Roshevitz?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Groth?
Yes.
Motion carries. And now,
Thank you.
and now,
Now we have
tee up the,
what do we call, the item is, it's a
an
FOIA appeal.
It's appeal of denial.
Now, on their desk, there was this is the attorney's opinion, is that what no, this is Jerry Vorba's opinion. Respectfully.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he helped me with it.
Okay,
so
all right. Oh, do I need to pass these out, am I missing?
They were on our.
They were on our desk, we had them all.
Yeah.
Here, I got a whole bunch of extra copies, I think.
You're lucky.
Right here, I've got extra copies here. In fact, there's one more.
You want me to tee it up, or?
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to have somebody succinctly tee this up.
There's only one.
Okay, Mr. Supervisor and everybody in the audience, a gentleman, Mr. Matthew Wilkie, he's an attorney out of Northville, requested a list of the recipients of email addresses used when the township sends in periodic newsletters. So we have a call e-news, and we send those out.
Constant contact is our contract.
Exactly. And so we do that to communicate with the public. Well, when they volunteer for this, they didn't volunteer like you would in a commercial aspect, saying, hey, you give us the right to use your email if you're going to do this, and we can send you all these ads. Well, the people didn't sign up for that. This is just purely us giving them information that is useful to them as it responds to the government here. And they did not designate that they wanted their information used any other way, commercial or for politics or anything. And so this person did that. We denied it based on privacy laws. And Mr. Wilk had noted that, we give them information about voters, and we do. But we don't give them their telephone numbers, we don't give them their emails, we don't give them their date of birth, we give them their age because we can do that. We do what the state says. And so it's about privacy. We don't give their driver's license number, we don't give them their social security number. So it's a matter of privacy. And I think that I'm asking that this be, his appeal be denied, and for the reasons that are written here on this document.
I think there's an expectation if you opt into these lists that the township is not going to share your email address. I can't imagine, I would think anybody that you asked would agree with that statement. I think we should deny this, and if he takes us to court and it's ruled against, and they rule against us, then we should ask for 60 days to give the community an opportunity to opt out.
Sure.
And then that would be the death of the e-newsletter.
Yeah.
That'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, because I know that when I've purchased email lists before and used those in political campaigns, that pisses people off. And I would get emails, where did you get my email address from?
Yeah.
So I'm in favor of denying this appeal.
I'd like to hear from anybody else, and then in the end, the attorney, and then in the audience.
I simply want to state that I don't have a problem with not allowing it, provided that there is some provision somewhere that absolutely guarantees all of us that no elected officials who have access to that are utilizing it.
Oh, absolutely. That would
Because
be
if that's being utilized, then we don't even need to be talking about this.
Right.
I'm not using it.
I'm not saying you
But I don't know
are.
what happened before me.
No.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
But how can we be
I have
sure?
access to all kinds of information, and I don't use it because it's not allowed.
Yeah.
And so
I just want to be sure
sure,
that
yeah.
we protect the residents'
Yeah.
rights
Yeah,
to
we-
privacy if we're going to take
I
that
get to see
stand.
people's phone number, their emails, their date of birth, their driver's license number, their social security numbers, because I register people to vote. And so it's important that we have that information, because the way the law is structured for elections, if people forget to sign their ballots, or we can't recognize it, we need to get a hold of them, and by law, we have to try to contact them. So
when you elect your representatives, you need to keep in mind the character of the person you're representing and whether or not they're going to take advantage of these things.
That's a tall order.
It is, but that's the way it should be.
We collect,
Yes.
on the slip, when you submit your taxes now, there's a field for phone number, and we collect phone numbers, and I wouldn't think of using those for any other purpose, but it's been a big help for us, because if somebody sends in a check and they forgot to sign it, and we would have somebody, searching the internet, going over to the clerk's office to try to find a phone number, and it was, so that we could call them and they could come in and sign their check. Otherwise, if we mailed it back to them, then it would be late when it was returned.
And the same thing applies to the clerk's office,
Yeah.
because when they fill out requests for absentee ballots, they provide that personal information with the understanding that it will only be utilized to contact them if there's a problem with their
Yeah.
forms or their ballot.
yeah, and the rule from the Secretary of State is that you can't give it out.
Right.
Okay.
So let's hear from the attorney.
Okay, the request in this case was simply a list of the recipient email addresses used when the township sends its periodic newsletters. I recommended that the clerk issue a denial of the request based on the Court of Appeals decision in Rataj versus the City of Romulus. In that case, the court noted that Section 3, Sub 1, Sub A of FOIA provides that a public body may exempt from disclosure information of a personal nature if public disclosure of the information would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of the individual's privacy. This exemption has two prongs. Under the first prong of the privacy exemption, information is of a personal nature if it is intimate, embarrassing, private, or confidential. Those are in the disjunctive, not the conjunctive. Under the second prong, the question is whether the public disclosure of information would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of the person's privacy. What the Court of Appeals ruled in the Rataj case was, we conclude that personal information such as home addresses, dates of birth, and telephone numbers are exempt from disclosure under FOIA. Home addresses, dates of birth, and telephone numbers typically constitute information of a personal nature within the meaning of the privacy exemption. For purposes of the second prong, the Supreme Court has held that the disclosure of such information would reveal little or nothing about a government agency's conduct, nor would it further the stated policy undergirding the Michigan FOIA. By extension of telephone numbers and home addresses, email addresses would be included within that exemption, and I recommend that the board uphold the denial.
All right, so any comments from the audience on this subject?
Yes, I did, Mary Tavarosi, 46649 Arboretum Circle. I did wait to the appropriate time to make this comment. I just want that noted for the record as well.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
Yes, I'm happy to. I applaud the decision to uphold the appeal or, and deny the release of this information. When it came to the attention to many of us in the community that this request had been made, and unfortunately we had to find out from social media because the FOIA report, which I have a copy of here from the clerk, is extremely opaque. 6 of the 14 requests for this past month have no name of the requester. 10 of the 14 say that the request is for something called other. So it's pretty useless for the citizens to know what's been requested, and I would ask that that be something that be addressed in the future, and that we don't have to find out about these FOIA controversies through social media. The issue that I have about this release is that screenshots, which I've also taken from the website for the e-newsletter and the form to sign up, do not warn the signer and the subscriber that their email could be shared with any outside entity. In fact, the sign-up form specifically states that you are only consenting to receive marketing emails from Plymouth Township, period. And there is no option to opt out from the release of information to other third parties, and your only recourse would be to unsubscribe after the fact. Now, most subscription services, in fact, the vast majority these days, due to cybersecurity and other concerns, have an opt-out feature already. And no matter how this shakes out and who ends up suing who, I really think that you need to update these forms, that you need to make clear whether or not the information could be subject to FOIA and released, and to give people the opportunity to opt out of having this information released, this personal information, because your name is attached to this in the sign-up form, attached to your email address. So if the outside person, Mr. Wilkes, was successful in this request, he would have both our name and our personal email, which is frankly not what any of us would have signed up for. So I urge the commission to stand firm on this and seriously think about updating your forms to reflect what goes on currently in society with subscriber lists. Thank you.
Thank you.
So to clarify, we would have, you're recommending that we consider a box that you checked that would allow you to opt out of
That data
what?
being shared?
of any of my data being shared, correct. I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know, again, if FOIA laws trump that, you know.
In this case, it
opt-out.
is, but.
But I would say, just to be on the safe side, you know, if you're asking to collect personal information for somebody to get a benefit from the township, such as, you know, being able to get an e-newsletter, that they be confident in the fact that they've checked off to say, I don't want to hear anything from anybody through my email except for you, the township
Well, I think
of Plymouth.
Doesn't
So,
it already
thank you.
say that? Isn't that what we?
Thank you.
It kind of says, it says that, but the opt-out thing, anyway, it's something we need to investigate.
Yeah.
So that we're more protected, or people are more protected. Yes?
My biggest concern about this whole thing is the leaks. Somehow things are being leaked.
There's no leak.
Stop, Jerry, it's my turn to
There's no
talk.
leak.
Stop, it's my
Hold
turn to
on.
talk.
Okay, Jerry, wait a minute, and then we'll.
Somebody's,
Characterizing it as something that's not true.
something's
Well, the
coming out
perception is a
of
leak.
this
We need to
building,
figure out
and I
why
don't know
that-
where it's coming from.
Stop, back up and start over again, I didn't hear you. I was
Okay.
talking over you.
I'm concerned about some leaks that are coming out of this building. And they're getting to Kurt Heisey, and he's trashing me, he's trashing everyone. He's trashing not only you, Mr. Kermit, other members of this board. Several of you, in fact. And it's unacceptable, the leaks that are coming out of this building. And then I got in something else I picked up here. Give me a second here, if I can
You
find
got
it.
2 more minutes.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what this, Mr. Bennett, but I just read this. Somebody sent it to me. Not a lawyer, a lady friend of mine. Yes, a private citizen can legally use FOIA for Michigan's equivalent to request the email list from township, especially if it's a public record used for government functions. But you'd have to use your state's FOIA, Michigan, not the federal FOIA. I'm having a hard time seeing this, I'm sorry. And expect potential reductions for personal privacy. That's not what I read earlier, anyways.
And our lawyer has addressed that.
Pardon?
Our lawyer has addressed that.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
So you have something to say about leaks, or?
Yeah, it's not a leak. It's public information. And nobody on this board gives up their fundamental right to free speech. And so if there's public information that is public, it can be discussed amongst ourselves. It can be discussed with anybody that is a constituent. I could call Putin if I want to and tell him something. So I have First Amendment rights. It's not a leak to discuss public information that is public knowledge, and it's not protected, and it's not disclosing something that shouldn't be disclosed. Like I said, I don't disclose people's personal information. And it's awful rich coming from a person who used the internet to smear the shit out of me and Kurt Heisey. So it's awful rich.
I don't think we should be talking about that.
Clean it up.
Yeah, let's clean
So
it up.
I'm not putting up with vulgarity.
Oh, shut up.
All right.
Repeated vulgarity.
So
Shut up.
we have a, Jerry,
We have a red light and a boundary.
Yeah.
all right.
Otherwise, you're complicit with vulgarity.
Huh.
And so
Done.
I did,
By the bell.
yeah, all right. So we need to figure out in the end how we want to vote on this. It appears that the recommendation from council is to deny it. People have other opinions that are in the public.
So moved. So moved to deny same.
Well, we got to make the motion. Do you want to make the motion, or I'll make the motion?
The motion should be to uphold the denial.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to uphold the denial for this FOIA denial. It's moved by me. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dorshevitz. Clerk Forba, yes. Supervisor Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorshevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
And trustee Gross says yes and reminds everyone that things should come to the board before they go everywhere else. If it's a board issue, it belongs with
But
the board.
it's not required by law.
It's not required by
But
law,
it's a
but
courtesy.
it's a courtesy.
All of you guys got it.
Well, no,
You
wait a
got the
minute.
same thing that I got.
I didn't
I
get
didn't
it
really,
before it was
I
on
didn't
Facebook.
notice it until right about the time I noticed that it was on social media.
But it was sent to all of us
And I
at
was
the same
making the
time.
agenda.
It was sent to us all at the same time. No one was denied the information.
It was sent on Thursday or Friday?
Friday morning.
Friday morning.
No, I didn't see it.
All right. So, how'd the vote go?
It passed 100% to deny, to uphold the denial.
Okay, is that all of our agenda items?
That's all.
Did we forget anything, anybody?
No, we did a great job.
Okay, so, now it's time for, comments on anything. You can say anything to me you want.
As long as there's no vulgarities.
Are you talking to the board or to the residents?
To the residents.
Okay.
On any agenda item or non-agenda item, or whatever blows your hair back.
Is it just comments to you?
No, to the board.
All right. So my comment or question really is, several meetings ago, I believe it was late summer, the clerk, Vorva, you made a comment about we are going to be consolidating the number of precincts from 12 to some number. I don't know if you were specific about the number,
Right.
which obviously would also necessitate precinct voting location changes. When are we going to get that information? Because there's a lot of planning going into the 2026 election that's already started.
Thank
And a
you.
lot of us are sort of in pause because we don't know how many precincts, where precincts, et cetera.
We would have sent it out earlier because they were talking about changing the date of the election. That has not happened. So our election date is going to be August and November. Some of the concern is if you send it out too soon, are people going to forget? You want to get it a little bit closer to the election time where people are paying attention. But we're going to send out in the newsletter saying this is going to happen. And we're going to be changing 12 precincts to 6, and some of the locations will be different. Not all of them. Some of the places will have two of the old precincts will become one. Like precinct 1 was St. Kenneth. Precinct 2 was the senior citizen center on, that's going to be
Schoolcraft,
merged. That's going to be merged to one, and it's going to be at St. Kenneth. So I'll notify everybody, I have to tell everybody with a new voter registration card that you will be getting, and that will include also the changes for the Senate districts that happened by the court mandated those changes. So I wanted to consolidate both of those things into one mailing if I can, just to save money. But yeah, you'll be notified by virtue of the e-news, you'll be notified by our newsletter, and you will receive a new voter registration card telling you who your reps are, what districts that you vote for state senate, for representative, and for county commissioner. Now, 2 of the districts are going to have split districts because when they changed the districts for the state rep, before the state rep was all, Plymouth Township was 1 state rep, now there's 2. And the same thing happened with the county commission, there's 2 now. And so there'll be 2 precincts where there'll be 2 different state reps you'll vote for, there'll be different ballots, okay? And then same thing for the county commissioner. So 2 of those districts will have that aspect of it, but you'll be informed of it because you'll be on your registration. When you go to vote, you'll get the right ballot.
Could you give us any idea, time frame, when we're going to hear these?
Sure,
He already knows where they are, right?
I know basically, yeah.
Who is we? The residents. Okay, you're not in the election or politics business.
I'm a resident.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
It's coming. I was going to do it before when we thought that the election was going to be moved up to May or June. Now it's not until August.
So there's time.
So,
There's time.
so we want it fresh in everybody's mind, but probably in February, you'll be getting a notice from me. And because what's going to happen, once I send those notices out, anybody who has moved or is no longer there, all those are gonna come back to me, and it's gonna require a lot of work to,
So the
check
answer to the
those.
question, though, is you expect to have the new precincts drawn by
Yes.
February?
yes.
And
And registration cards go out.
And in case you don't know it, the state legislature was considering moving the August primary election to May. And that's part of what he's talking about. It's back to August, so that makes a difference too.
But thank you for your concern, and we'll make sure that everyone gets that out there. I'll contact the newspapers, and so that in the news magazines, the two you get out there, the Rock and the Plymouth, I'll contact them, I'll put an article in it. So I'll try to get that information out, because it's gonna cost tens of thousands of dollars to mail those cards out. And then when I get the cards back that they moved, I'm required by law to mail them again to make sure our issue is or issue ain't still there, you know, and then in order to remove people from the voter roll. So it's a lot of work. But thank you.
Okay.
Hi, I
Yes.
just came back up because the.
What is your name again?
Tom Layton.
Okay.
Live on Heinz Court on the cul-de-sac. The reason I came back up is because everybody who signed that petition that I gave you guys copies of.
Yep.
Wanted me to have their 3 minutes so I could explain everything, but that's ridiculous.
And it doesn't work that way.
They didn't want to come up here either. But in regards to that, the petition basically just is asking for you guys to take into consideration taking us off that system. There's no reason why we should be put on a system that is, I mean, it's a large portion of downtown Plymouth, and it's all the waste. And it comes through our neighborhood. And it doesn't, we don't need to be tied to it to get it vented properly. And I know it's gonna cost, as Chuck brought up, and so did Patrick, but health and safety shouldn't have a dollar amount on it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a comment?
And Mike.
All right. Oh, we have a taker.
Blaine's back.
All I can say is I hope we have some decency and this stuff stops being shared. It's outrageous. Thank you.
I think it's unfortunate that it's happening. I agree with you there.
Well, I think we're getting some feedback about the FOIA monthly reports that
And again,
I've been watching for a while.
I think the employees who brought this forward were concerned with the privacy issue that we were talking about. They were afraid that
retaliation.
Retaliation, right.
Retaliation in the police department is where it originated.
Yeah, and it's not a criticism, it's just a statement of fact, and it's an issue of board policy versus, I mean, we have to know exactly what we want to be shared.
So what do we do now? Well, I guess, what is the next step?
You can
Go
discuss
back to
it.
the old
We
format.
probably need to put it on an agenda.
Revert to the
for
old
discussion.
format?
I don't know.
Or put it on the agenda for discussion. It's a board decision.
Just go back to the old format.
The old format for clerk's office, for police,
Yeah, the same.
my concern is,
No, it
No?
should be the same for both.
well, the answer that came from the employees was that no one else does this. No, everyone does what we're doing now. No one exposes it.
Right.
And we are being foolish, and bad people are going to use it to their advantage.
And I am going to repeat what our attorney has already spelled out. It is a board decision.
Well, and who are the employees in the clerk's office?
No, it was in the police department.
They were concerned because sometimes people make police reports against people, and then someone can FOIA that to find out, oh, you know, my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, you know.
And then retaliate.
And then retaliate against them. So they're trying to, it's like a shield law.
Oh.
You know, in the clerk's department, there's shield laws for voters. There's some voters that you can't disclose their
Right.
their information, their address.
Oh, because they're under protection?
Yes, exactly.
But we're subject to FOIA laws. We, as a board, are subject to FOIA laws. And so we can't be worrying about those kind of things if it violates what our responsibility is.
Well, the professional organization that manages records, I forgot the name of it, recommends doing it the way it's being done, redacted.
Yes.
But we just talked to our attorney.
Yeah.
All right, so this will take some further plowing of the field to get the right answer again.
Chuck, can I say, there was...
Yeah, come up here, or
your speaker.
Or, yeah, you got the speaker already, you got the microphone.
I'll come up. Yeah, there was significant research done. I mean, it wasn't just, I mean, we're an employee, it's an employee.
Fine, you guys shared it with
Cindy
me.
Fell is an expert in FOIA. She's had as much training as, you know, maybe not as much as Jerry, but probably significant amount, close to his. Significant research is done. I could certainly bring Cindy in here and she could explain the research that she did when we made that decision. That would be my recommendation to the board.
We would appreciate that.
Okay, so we're gonna work this issue more and hopefully come up with an optimum answer, which I don't know what the silver bullet is yet. All right, John Stewart, any comments?
Yes. Merry Christmas. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's Christmas Eve, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Trustee Groth and I are celebrating a 25th anniversary. I came to her regarding my recount on my state rep race where I had won by 81 votes. She promptly pulled out a large white notebook, 3-ring binder, and she said, we're going to follow the rules, write down the list from A to Z. I drove to Lansing, and Chris Thomas told me there's never been a recount in Michigan that has changed more than a dozen votes. We also have an absolute gentleman, state rep, and former clerk from Westland here tonight, my friend, Richard LeBlanc. I pity and my Godspeed to the chief of police and our fire chief. The next 60 days, highest occurrence of drunk driving, assaults, domestic violence, which will peak on traditionally in the last few years on Super Bowl Sunday, which is February 8th this year, just 60 days away. Domestic violence, sexual and vulgar verbal assaults. So I Godspeed for both of you. Dry trees ignite like that. Slip and falls happen like that. The next 60 days are all important, and I ask the people to be kind and courteous and to control your vocabulary because words matter. Thank you very much and good night.
I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight, and we appreciate having you here.
Jerry?
Again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year, and we'll see you in January in meetings.
Bob?
Happy holidays and Happy New Year. And we're just raking in the cash because this is the time of year that the township taxes are paid. So we got about 1,000 that have paid already. That's it.
Jen?
Yeah, I'll just briefly touch on the Veterans Commission. It was put out that we have a meeting on Monday, but I had already sent on information to the clerk's office canceling that meeting, so sorry that it was posted on the e-newsletter, but there indeed will not be. We don't have anything on the agenda. But I do have good news to report that our commissioners went to USA Hockey and held a fundraiser there called Chuck a Puck, and we raised $500 for our commission. And so we are self-funded and very excited to see what we can do this next year. And with that, Merry Christmas. Great to see you all.
I'm all set?
Okay, I have a few things. January 7th at 6:30 is our joint Planning Commission Board of Trustees meeting, and the primary topic will be the master plan. January 7th, 6:30. You received a notice, a meeting notice on that, and I think some of you have replied that you will be there. I think everybody's going to be there except Bob Dorshevitz. December 15th, that's Monday coming up. You're invited to a potluck here at Township Hall. You got a sign-up sheet if you want to come. I think you signed up. Noon to 2. ESCI, our consultant for fire, is working to get data from us uploaded. So they really haven't done any analysis work, but the fire chief is busy getting data uploaded to their website so that they can begin the analysis. We have converted to a new website domain. We are .gov now, but the old emails will operate for maybe years, and our website searches are all being redirected, so redirecting is going on. We will eventually go, it's soft right now, a soft change, and we're doing this predominantly for security and election integrity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
.gov.
.gov versus .org that we have today is .gov is more reliable, secure and reliable.
CISA focuses on .gov.
Are we getting new business cards with?
Not initially. Right now, we're just going to use, my recommendation is use an exhaust for now, but we will convert. Maybe when we reprint, we'll put, if somebody thinks we should put a QR code on the back side, or we should put our website address on the front side or something. We'll think of something to standardize.
Well, I would definitely cut costs because I had a box like this big and I think I've used this many.
Yeah, so buy a fewer number.
Not that popular.
Yeah, buy a fewer number. Yep.
With the new domain name.
Yeah.
So I agree. Bob has indicated that he would like to step down from the Planning Commission, so if anybody is interested, please talk to me. Talk to me. So, we have to, by law, have someone from the Township Board as a representative on the Planning Commission. He's staying, but he would like to opt out.
He's done it for a long time.
Right.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, long time, got a lot of. All right, Merry Christmas. Hopefully next year we'll see greater and better things.
Mr. Supervisor, I move for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're out.